Um, I'm experimenting with a new microphone. Though, if you've seen me constantly fiddling about with this thing, we'll see how it works. And we've got rain here, quite heavy rain. As you can see, I'm in a conservatory, so if it starts to like batter a lot, I hope you can hear me. So, if you'd like to join me down on the mat, shall we make a start? Let's begin our practice this evening. Just taking a moment or two just to get comfortable. To start to allow your body to soften and relax. And to become aware of your breathing. And then take your awareness up to the crown of your head. And slowly scan down through your body. Starting to build up that picture in your mind of how your body's feeling today. And then bring your awareness into the activities in your mind. Be aware of the thoughts that are in your mind today. Accept them for whatever they are. But if you possibly can, don't get tied up with those thoughts. Let thoughts come into your mind and let them go. Without you getting attached to them, without engaging with them and losing yourself in those thoughts. And then turn your focus back to your breathing, leaving those thoughts wherever they are. And follow the breath as it comes in and goes out. And finally, take a moment to set your intention for this evening's practice. And to remind yourself of your motivation for taking part in this practice today. So let's start to bring some movement into the body now. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Circle your ankles. Circle your wrists. Stretch your fingers out wide and point your toes. Then clench your hands into a fist and pull your toes back towards your shins. Relax your hands, relax your feet. Slowly turn your head from side to side. And then relax your neck. Allow your head to rest on the mat. Bring your feet up off the ground. Take hold of your knees and hug your knees into your chest. Extend your feet up towards the ceiling. Point the toes, straighten the legs. Then pull your toes back, push your heels up. Point your toes up again. Gently pull back on the legs. And ease the tension off. Just take your hands just to the outsides of your knees. Keeping your toes pointing up, your legs straight. Just let your legs fall out to the side, supporting them as much or as little as you need. And raise the legs back up. Relax your ankles. Allow your knees to bend, but keep the feet up off the ground. And take your right ankle over on top of the left thigh. Reach behind the back of the leg. And pull your knee up towards your upper body. Then extend your left leg up towards the ceiling. Point your toes and pull back on the left leg. Ease the tension off, relax the ankle. Allow the left leg to bend, keeping the foot up off the ground. Take your right foot off the thigh and bend the right knee. Take your left ankle over on top of the right thigh. Reach behind the back of the knee. Pull your knee up towards the upper body. Then straighten the right leg, point the toes. Pull back on the leg. Ease the tension off, relax the ankle. Allow the knee to bend. Take your left ankle off. Reach down for the balls of the feet. Straighten your legs as much as you can. Allow your knees to bend. Let go of the feet, let the soles of the feet come down to the ground. Knees and ankles together. Extend your arms out to the sides. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your knees over to the left. Inhale to the center. And exhale over to the right. Inhale back to the center. Draw your arms into your sides. Turn your arms over so the palms are facing down and bring your heels up towards your buttocks. Push down through the soles of your feet to lift your hips up in bridge. And lower your hips down. Bring your feet in together. Bring the right foot up off the ground. Just bend the knee. Push down with the left to lift your hips up. And if you feel you can, straighten the right leg and point the toes up towards the ceiling. Allow the knee to bend. Bring the right foot down to the ground. And lower your hips. Bring the left foot up, bend the knee. Push down with the right foot, lift your hips up. And again, if you feel you can, straighten the right leg knee to bend, let the hips come down. Bring both feet up off the ground, hug your knees in. Gently rock from side to side on the bottom of your back. Relax back to the centre. Lower your feet down to the ground. Turn on to your side. And push up to seated. Bringing the soles of your feet together. Take hold of the ends of your toes and hug your heels in. Lift your chest up but push your knees down. Relax your shoulders forward. Just take your feet out slightly. Take hold of the toes again. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms about your body up. Pull your right foot in, take your left foot out to the side. And take your left hand onto the shin, right hand, palm up behind your right thigh. Reach up and stretch over. Raise your right arm up, lower down. Bring your left foot in. Take your right foot out. Right hand onto the shin, left hand behind you. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, stretch over. Reach up with your left hand, lower back down. Bring both feet in. Turn over onto your hands and knees. Bring your toes together, take your knees out to the edges of the mat. Sit back onto your heels. Reach out in front with your fingers. Bring your chest forward. And let your hips sink down just nice and gently. Opening up the hips. And sit back onto your heels again. Bring your chest forward. And draw your knees in. Keep your left knee where it is. Take your right foot out to the side. Your toes pointing forward. And sit back onto your heel. And stretch out in front. And walk your hands round to the right side. And walk your hands back to the centre. Bring your chest forward. Bring your right knee in. Take your left foot out to the side. Sit back onto your heel. And walk your hand round to the left side. Come back to the centre. Bring your chest forward. Take your knees and ankles to hip width apart. Sit back on your heels, stretch out in front. And then bring your chest forward and sink your hips down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. And come to downward facing dog. And walk your feet up to the front of the mat. Come into forward fold. And take an inhale, raise your arms up. Interlace your fingers, take a side bend over to the left. Back to the centre. And over to the right. Back to the centre again. Release the grip on your fingers. Take an inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Take a step back on your right foot, onto the ball of the foot, and push down with your left foot to bring your body up. Raise your hands up. Come into high lunge. Lower your arms forward. Bring your hands down to the ground. Step back with your left foot. And push up to downward facing dog. And raise your right leg up off the ground. And then lower it down, bend the knee. And bring your knee down into the centre of the mat. Raise your left leg up behind. Keeping your legs straight, bring the left leg round to the side. And take it back. Bend the knee. Reach back with your right hand for the instep. Lift your knee up away from the bottom of the back. Lower your left knee down. Curl your toes under. Push back up to downward facing dog.
Walk back to the front of the mat. So we're in forward fold. We'll take an inhale, raise your arms up. Bring your palms together and stretch back. And then reach up to the ceiling, take an inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Take a step back on the left foot. Onto the ball of the foot, push down with your right to bring your body up. Raise your arms up to high lunge. And then lower your arms forward. Let your hands come down to the ground. Step back with your right foot. So we're in downward facing dog. Raise your left leg up. And then lower it down, bend the knee. And bring your left knee down to the mat. Raise your right leg up behind. Bring your right knee, your right leg round to the side. And take it back. Bend the knee. And reach back with your left hand for the instep. Lifting your heel away from the bottom of your back. Let go of the foot, let your leg come down. Curl your toes under. And push up to downward facing dog. And walk up to the front of the mat again. So we're back in forward fold. And take an inhale, raise your arms up. And lower them down to shoulder height, bending at the elbows. Put back across your chest. And take a deep back bend. And then reach up to the ceiling. Take an inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Allow your left knee to bend. Raise your right hand up. Then lower your right hand down. Straighten the left leg. Allow your right knee to bend. Raise your left hand up. And lower back down. Take your arms round to the back of your calves and pull your head down towards the ground. And take your hands back to the ground. Step back with the left foot, and then with the right foot. And push your hips up into downward facing dog again. Walk back to the front of the mat. And step back on your right foot. This time turning the toes out. Coming onto the heel. Push down with your left foot to bring your body up. Raise your arms up to warrior one. Lower your arms down behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, hinge forward, bringing your left shoulder down inside your left knee. And if you can, push your hands up in a humble warrior. Let your hands come down to the bottom of the back. Take your left hand down to the ground alongside your left foot. Bring your right hand up. Stretch over. Extended side angle. And raise your right hand up, and as you do, bring your left hand up off the ground. Turn your palms down. So we're in warrior two. Looking out over your left hand. Bring your right arm forward. Lower your hands down to the ground. Right foot onto the ball of the foot. Step up. Back to forward fold. Step back on the left foot. Turning your toes out, coming onto the heel. Push down with your right foot, raise your arms up. So we're in warrior one. Lower your arms down behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, hinge forward, bringing your right shoulder down inside your right knee. Pushing your hands up if you can. And let your hands come down to the bottom of your back. Take your right hand down to the ground, bring your left hand up. And stretch over to extended side angle. And then raise your left hand up. As you do, bring your right hand up. So we're in warrior two. Looking out over your right hand. And then bring your left arm forward. Lower your hands down to the ground. Left foot onto the ball of the foot. And step back with your right. So we're in downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your knees down. Sit back onto your heels. Stretch out in front with your fingers. Curl your toes under. Bring your chest forward and push up to downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower your chest down to the ground, feet onto the insteps. Push up to cobra. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up. And take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower your knees down. Bring your hands in underneath your shoulders. Let your belly sink down, lift your chin up. Come into cow. And then arch your back. Bring your chin in. So we're in cat. Let your belly sink down, lift your chin up. And then arch your back. And bring your chin in. And relax your back, walk your hands back towards your knees. You're going to take the left foot forward. Come on to the heel. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. Then exhale, fold forward to half monkey. Keep your right hand down on the mat. Raise your left hand up. And then lower your right hand down again. Shift your weight forward. Raise both arms up and stretch back. Lower your arms forward. Bring your hands down. Draw your left foot back. And take your right foot out in front. Allow. Oh, sorry, no, we're not like going forward, we're coming back. Straighten your left leg. Take an inhale. Your right leg, take an inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Keep your left hand down. Raise your right hand up. And lower your right hand down. Bring your weight forward. Raise your arms up. And stretch back. Lower your arms forward. Bring your hands down to the mat. Draw your right foot back. Sit back onto your heels. Stretch out in front. Sit back with your feet out in front. Keep your left foot out in front. Bring your right foot into the side of your thigh. Hands to the sides of the hips. Toes pointing up on the left foot. Lift your chest up. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, lower down. Take your right foot out. Bring your left foot in. Hands to the sides of the hips again. Lift your chest up. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, lower down. Take your right foot out to join your left. Hands alongside your hips. With your fingers pointing forward. Lift your chest up. Take an inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. And exhale, lower down. Bring both feet in. And take your left hand over onto your right knee. Right hand to the ground behind your back. And twist to look back over your right shoulder. Relax, come forward. Take your right hand over onto your left knee, left hand to the ground behind your back. Twist to look back over your left shoulder. Relax, come forward. Take your right hand down to the ground at the side of your hip, left hand palm up. Inhale, raise your arm up. And exhale, reach over. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower down. Left hand down to the ground, right hand palm up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower down. Raise both arms up, stretch up to the ceiling. And then lower your arms down to chest height. Push your fingers away from you. Arch your back and bring your chin in. Take your arms out to the sides, lift your chest up. Bend your arms at the elbows and pull back across your chest. And then reach up to the ceiling. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, turn to the left, lower your arms down, bringing your body down over your left thigh. And raise your arms up. Turn your chest round to the right, take an inhale. And as you exhale, lower your arms down, bringing your chest down over your right thigh. Raise your arms up. And exhale, lower down to the sides. Take your feet out in front. Bring your backs down onto the mat. Bring your feet up off the ground, bend your knees. And hug your knees into your chest. And reach down to the outside edges of your feet. Bring the soles of your feet together and hug your heels in. And then pull the feet out to the sides, keeping your knees bent, soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Come into happy baby. Bring the soles of the feet back together and hug them in. Let go of the soles of your feet. Bring your hands back to your knees. Hug your knees into your chest. And then extend your feet up to the ceiling. Point the toes, straighten the legs. Pull back on both legs. Ease the tension off, relax the ankles. Allow the knees to bend. Bring the soles of the feet down to the ground. Knees and ankles together. Extend your arms out to the sides. And cross your right leg over the top of the left leg. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your knees over to the right. Inhale back to the centre. Exhale out to the left. Inhale back to the centre. Take your right foot down to the mat. Cross the left leg over the top of the right. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your knees to the left. Inhale back to the centre. And exhale over to the right. Inhale back to the centre. Take your left foot, place it at the side of the right. Relax the knees out to the sides. Bringing the soles of the feet together. And extend your feet down to the bottom of the mat. Take your ankles apart. Relax the toes out to the sides. And bring your arms to a position that's comfortable for you. And take your awareness up to the crown of your head. And scan down through your head and face. Relaxing the muscles in the face and in the jaw. Relax the neck and shoulders. Relax the upper arms and elbows. Forearms and wrists. Relax the hands, the thumbs and the fingers. And bring your awareness into your upper body. Relax your chest and rib cage. Relax the muscles across the top of the back. The muscles down the sides of the spine.
Relax the bottom of the back. The muscles around the sides of the body. Relax the stomach muscles. Relax the pelvis and the hips. Relax the muscles in the buttocks. Relax the hamstrings. Relax the muscles in the thighs. Relax the knees and the calf muscles, the shins and the ankles. Relax the feet and toes. Bring your awareness to your breathing now. Start to follow the breath in and out. Following the breath as one breath leads into another, then into another. You can either just let the breath happen, or you can control it slightly, just controlling the inhale and the exhale, not taking deep breaths, just being aware of your control over the breath. And then bring your focus in to concentrate on just one breath at a time. Focus on one inhale and then one exhale. Move on to a new breath. One inhale, one exhale. Move on to another new breath. Just one breath at a time. So if your mind wanders off, it doesn't matter because we're just doing one breath. Your mind wanders off, you can come back to the next breath. If it wanders off again, just come back to the next breath because all we're doing is one breath at a time. Now release the focus from your breathing. Bring your awareness to the physical sensations in your body. Move your awareness around your body, noticing the different feelings in the different parts of your body. whether you're in touch with the ground or not, whether you can feel the body moving or not. Just noticing those sensations. And then let's gently start to bring some movement back into the body now. And move your hands and feet. Your knees and hips. Move your chest and back. Move your arms and shoulders. Your head and neck. And then when you're ready, if you turn on to your right side, and in your own time come back up to seated. Just taking a moment to enjoy that stillness in your mind that has come from focusing so much on the breathing. Take a deep breath in and out. And if you've had your eyes closed, gently open them now. Namaste.